Hello guys, hope you all doing good. Today we have a Hyundai Venue 2019 to 2022 model with the petrol engine, 1.2 Kappa engine with a 5-speed manual transmission. In this video we will see a quick review about this car and compare it with its rivals. Let's dive in and see how the car is. At front we have partitioned headlamp design with the indicators at top and the headlights at the bottom. We do get halogen all around the car because this is a base variant. At top ends we do get DRLs around the headlamps, but this is a base model, E model you can see. In this we don't get any LED headlamps or projector, nothing. It's just halogen headlamp. The tire size of the car is 195/65 and 15 inches wheels. These are 15-inch wheel. Top end do get 16-inch wheel. In this variant we have a physical key. Top end do get keyless entry, but that is only on the driver's side. The ground clearance of the car is 190 mm, which is more than enough. It doesn't scrape any speed breaker whatsoever. At rear we don't get wiper, but we do get heating rear defogger heating element, I would say. The reverse light is at the bottom and the stop lamp is at the top, and again all the lamps are halogen. We do get a request button for the tailgate, and the boot is quite spacious at 350 liters. Brezza is slightly more than this, but this is very practical boot. We do also get a light inside, which is nice, and we also have partial shelf here which can be removed. The front seat of the car is comfy, and we do have a good under thigh support in the front. This car gets aftermarket seat covers, as you can see. From factory we do get fabric seat covers, which is also pretty good, and also we do get a center armrest in the middle, which is important for me, I would say. That adds a bit of comfort. The dashboard design seems pretty good, I would say. This is a good, plain and simple, very conventional design, not anything special or modern, but it's good. And we do get this Bluetooth system, which is not a touchscreen because this is a base variant. It has a Bluetooth connectivity and some other features you can have here. Then coming to the climate control, we have a single zone climate control system, and below that we have a USB and a 12-volt socket. This is the gear lever. It looks pretty good, which is wrapped up in leather, and the handbrake is pretty good. So in top you get some visor with a ticket holder here, and then mirror, which is not auto dimming, but you can dim it manually. And side mirrors are pretty good, I would say. And these knobs I do like. The door knobs are pretty good. This is how you lock the car, which is quite big. Maruti's you will get small. This is pretty good design. Coming to the driver side controls, you have which is a window lock feature here. Then for window controls here, lock button, and then mirror controls in the sides. You do get mirror controls in this variant, which is good. Coming to the steering wheel, you have your speaker controls here, and then audio controls, phone controls, and then modes we have. You just turn on the radio. So yeah, in the instrumental cluster, since it's a base variant, you do get a tachometer and a speedometer and a small trip meter here, which does tell you some information, but it's quite hard to reach actually. You can see like it has a odo trip B, distance to empty meter, and fuel efficiency meter. That's your average kmph. This car usually returns about 17 kmph, I guess. The owner claims it gives 20 plus. Let's see, then other meters, I guess. This is the trip meter. So this is what you get in this car. At higher variants we do get touch screens with a lot of connectivity features. There is a lot of connectivity features. This car is feature loaded if you get the top end variant. In this variant you do get a basic Bluetooth functions which are quite dated, I would say. So coming to the space is pretty decent. Seat is quite scooped out and it's very comfy here, and space is adequate, I would say. I'm 5'10". Leg room is pretty decent, I would say. It's not very spacious, but it is enough for a person like 5'10", it should be okay. And then headroom also, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. You seated a bit low, so it helps. And these seats get pockets, you can put stuff here. And we also have some 12 volt charging socket here. And we do get some climate controls here, you can turn on and off here. And we also don't get armrest and center middle headrest, and the door bins are big enough. Overall, this is not a spacious cabin as you expect. This is not the best rear seat comfort in the segment. There are better cars in this segment than this. So guys, let's test how this car is to drive. The clutch is very soft, the play is also very less. It's very easy to drive. Maybe we will take a U-turn here. Let's see how it is. Don't get a reverse camera sadly. Should be good. I think that should be good. Okay, get going. Okay, we'll get going. Now coming to the driving part, the steering is very light. This should be a very easy car to drive in city. The clutch is super light, and the travel is also very small. This almost feel like a game pedal. Gearbox is very slick shifting, but it doesn't have sharp precise throws, but it's very easy to operate, I would say. Overall, this is a very easy car to drive. So as you can see, the engine is butter smooth. It doesn't sound very vocal, but it's pulling relentlessly. I do see some flat spot here and there. The bottom is very punchy. Then there goes a flat spot, and then it pulls relentlessly. The top end is also surprisingly good, I would say. Coming to the engine, this is a 1.2 petrol Kappa engine mated with 5-speed manual transmission. This engine produces 81 horsepower and 170 Newton meters of torque. This is not the best in the segment figures, but this car also gets a 1 liter turbo engine, which is much sportier and has a better mid-end punch, I would say. This engine should return about 18 to 20 kilometers per liter. The ARAI claim is 18 kilometers per liter. The fuel tank capacity is 45 liters, so you would have adequate range with this car. So overall, this is a very drivable engine, gets the job done. This is not any lackluster engine, and also this is not very performance oriented car, I would say. This is, if you are an enthusiast, this might not be your thing. Suspension in this car is on the softer side. It is more oriented towards comfort than handling. Suspension soaks small bumps really well. Only the big ones crash through it. In terms of handling, this is not the best handling car in the segment, mainly due to its softer suspension and a lackluster steering wheel. For comparison, Brezza do get stiffer suspension than this, and the steering is also quite good compared to this, I would say. This car drives more like a jacked up hatchback than a bigger car. For comparison, a Tata, Nexon and other cars do drive like a big car, even though it's much smaller than that. And suspension also is quite sophisticated in Tata and our Indian cars like Mahindra XUV300. This car is definitely comfortable, but the driving dynamics is quite like an hatchback. If you compare it with the rivals, Brezza has more space and more comfortable than a Venue, and Maruti's replacement cost is very low and running cost is very low compared to Hyundai. If you compare it with a Nexon is slightly more spacious and has more feature, and Nexon do drive like a bigger car. Sonet is slightly more featured car of Venue. Even though they both share the same platform, it should be pretty similar. Only thing is that it priced slightly higher than Venue and will get a few more features. This is what Kia and Hyundai have always do. And there is other cars in this segment, EcoSport WRV, and we do also have Kiger Magnet and XUV 300. But in my opinion, Brezza and Nexon would be closer comparison to these cars, because if you want the sportiest car and you don't care about reliability or service, you would probably end up with EcoSport. And if you want the cheapest car, you would go for a Magnet. So if you are planning to buy one used, this is a great car to buy, because even though Brezza is a good car, if you buy one new, it should be a close comparison. But if you are buying one used, Maruti usually are overvalued in my opinion. Maruti usually don't lose value. If you buy a 3-4 years car, it would still be priced above a used Hyundai. So if you are planning to buy a used Venue, this will offer more value than a Maruti. The Venue in overall is a great package with a lot of features and cabin comfort. This is a car more oriented towards easy to drive in cities and comfort. The comfort is a priority for this car, and this is also quite reliable as it's a Hyundai, and the service cost also is good, and parts will also be readily available. Hope you guys find this video helpful. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.